So this past week kicked off a big holiday week. Of course, I mean the food coma holiday itself, Thanksgiving, and another one of my favorite holiday duos, of course, being Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So needless to say, between family and friends and shopping and catching up with people, I definitely slacked a little bit this past week. But we definitely had some really cool pieces to talk about today. Hey everyone, it's Tony here with Nerds Never Sleep, and it's time again for another weekly figure roundup. That's right, this is the time where I bring you in and show you all the statues, figures, and collectibles that I highlighted on the channel in the past week, using things like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, and photo galleries across the various social media platforms. Now, of course, this week, we had a busy holiday week for those of us here in the US, celebrating Turkey Day and shopping days and all of the goodness that we had that came with it. And with that being said, I did happen to get into a few food comas, do a little bit too much shopping, spending time with family and friends, and definitely slacked here on the channel. With only 4 figures this week, but all 4 of them being absolute bangers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get right into them right now because we don't really have too much to talk about today. So, to start off the week, I went strong with my boy, All Might. And of course, this is the depowered All Might, where he's kind of, sort of, still has a little bit of his power left. Essentially, this is where he is in his final battle. And, you know, it's a really cool piece, especially for a prize figure, because he has some definite weight to him. And I really like this one because where I do have depowered All Mights and I have full powered All Mights, this is that kind of happy medium where he's partially skinny and partially bulked up, kind of ready to give that final blow. And, you know, I really, really like this one. I think he fits in so well with a good variety of All Might figures. And again, for a base $20 prize figure, this thing is an absolute beauty. The sculpt on the hair, the torn up costume, even the details on the muscles in his arms, his forearms, his fists, and the detail in even his strong hand, you know, the little skinny hand with his massive palm kind of coming out. It just all comes together so well. And being a Van Presto prize figure where we've had some very sketchy All Mights in the past, it's nice to see one that is actually sculpted really, really well like this. I mean, where the belt connects to his waist and all that stuff, all of that connects perfectly and it looks good. Whereas previous All Mights, we've had some real issues around the belt line area and it looked very, very sloppy. So this one, they absolutely nailed. I love the face and the expression that they gave him. It just looks incredible. And it also adds that we don't have any other All Mights that are really like this. Again, we have Kuji figures that are depowered. We have Kuji figures that are full powered. And we even have one that I'll be doing soon, which is in his armored suit. So having something that's kind of the happy medium and the in-between is a really, really cool thing. And again, the size of this, he's pretty beefy, so he does fit in well with some of the other larger All Mights in your collection. So if you can get your hands on this one, I definitely recommend grabbing one because he's still on the cheap. And then for Twin Tuesday, because the weather is getting so freaking cold here all of a sudden in New England, because that's just what happens here. 70 degrees one day, 20 degrees the next day. I brought out this amazing winter Rem, and it is absolutely beautiful, you guys. This is actually a base prize figure. I think when she released, she was about $22 retail, and you can still get her for around that, maybe $25 today. But this thing is so freaking pretty. She's in her winter maid gear, which is just kind of a more fluffier take on the classic maid costume. But the big standout to this isn't the costume. It's the really cool kind of angled base that they have with the snowflake attached to it. It really kind of just makes the whole figure pop. when you do size it up with other prize figures that, as I always say, have the plain black base, or even a Kuji figure that has the plain translucent base. This thing just went a little bit of the extra mile and just put something on top of the base. It doesn't need to be a fancy base, but adding this giant snowflake to it gives it so much personality that I absolutely love it. And the fact that this is a prize figure and Rem is so freaking tall. She stands as tall as the Kirito over here, who's on a massive platform. So you know you're getting a great value for your money with a figure like this. Now, all the details are completely incredible. They've got the kind of almost like a ta-da pose. She's kind of got her arms out like, hey, look at this. She's standing on a snowflake. The facial expression is absolutely beautiful. The sculpt of the actual maid costume, the hair, all of it looks really, really well done. There's no gloppy stuff. I know on some of the Rems, you get that one back piece on her hair that is kind of globbed in there sometimes. This one actually has it sculpted out and it comes off. Looks really, really good. All the details are there. She looks absolutely fantastic. And guys, for a prize figure, you cannot go wrong with this. When you size her up to something like the Winter Maid Pop-Up Parade, which is more expensive, this is almost twice the size of it, twice the details, and has a really, really cool additional feature to the base. So, if you're looking for a really cool winter Rem that still has the maid look to her, this is the no-brainer pick for you guys. I highly recommend it. She is absolutely gorgeous. And again, super impressive when sized up against larger prize figures and even Ichiban Kuji figures. So definitely a recommend. And then for that time I got reincarnated on a Thursday, I went with something that got a little bit of negativity thrown at it. People thought it was a bootleg figure. They thought it wasn't real. And of course, you know, I'm talking about my boy Rimuru. And this is the devil or demon version of the Rimuru Festival Ichiban Kuji series. Now, this came with a devil, an angel, and the last prize was a black costume angel of Rimuru. Now, this thing got some flack from me because people thought it was a bootleg just because of the midriff showing costume. And, you know, I thought it was an odd thing because, honestly, to me, he looks like an 80s rock star, and I absolutely freaking love it. He's got the chains hanging off. He does have the midriff out, the partially buttoned shirt. Kind of got the rocker kind of arm cuffs and things like that. He's holding a literal red flaming slime. And of course, he has these crazy devil wings, the devil tail, and the extremely tight black leather pants with the pointed shoes. So this thing just screams 80s rock god, and I absolutely love it. I did do an unboxing and review of this one, and I was in love with it when I opened it. Could not sing his praises enough. Angel, on the other hand, I was a little iffy about, but he was way too feminine for my taste. Now, this one is really, really cool. My only gripe about it is the base. It's this big, ugly, clear base. And I want more from the Ichiban show figures because they are twice to 3 times the price of your regular prize figures. So I'd like to get something a little bit nicer with the base, something a little flashy, maybe put some flames coming up off it, do something like this basic prize figure Rem did with a snowflake. Anything could be done, but it is my only gripe. I love this Rimuru, the pose. He's kind of pointing out to a crowd. He does, again, if you put a microphone in front of him, he looks like a rock star. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. And if you can get your hands on this, I think they're still available on most retail sites. I highly recommend it because, again, it is a very different look for Rimuru. And if you're into hard rock and heavy metal, this one is definitely a Rimuru for you. And then I closed out the week after being busy for several days at a time. I closed out with a Sword Art Saturday again because you guys really, really seem to love the Sword Art content. And I have not been doing it for a while. So, of course, I brought, again, my boy Kirito, the Black Swordsman, with the extra motions figure, which is the companion piece to the Asuna that I did show previously. Now, again, just like with Asuna, my gripe with this is the big cup-sized ugly base that you could literally drink out of. It's just ugly. It needs to go, and they need to do something else with these because, oh God, it just almost ruins the figure. But thankfully, it doesn't completely ruin the figure because this thing is absolutely awesome. From all the details, literally the motions of him swinging both his blades out. We have kind of the swirls going on from the slash, the effects. It looks really, really cool. The way his jacket is flowing upwards. He's kind of in an elevated position coming. Either he's coming up at something or just, it looks so cool. And when you pair him with the Asuna, they just look fantastic together. I am so happy that we did get a really cool dynamic set like this together. And again, if you can get beyond these hideous bases, him and the Asuna are an amazing duo, and they are still very affordable. Again, these were espresso figures, so they ran about $20 to $25. If you're looking for the variant costumes, which was a black costume Asuna and a white and red costume Kirito, you're gonna pay a little bit more money, but having that little different dynamic in your set might just be worth it. These cups gotta go. But the only plus to them, and I've said it with Asuna, is it does take away the need to buy a riser if you want to put these at the back of a collection or a shelf. So there's a minus and there's a plus to it, I guess, depending on what side you look at it. But all in all, it's a Kirito that I highly recommend. I think he probably is still my favorite Kirito prize figure that I have, even though the base is horrendous. So again, if you guys are looking for one, they are still available on most websites on the cheap. You're looking for about $25, $50 if you want the duo, but highly recommend getting yourself an awesome Kirito and Asuna together. And that's going to be it for the figure roundup. And now what I usually do at this point is I give you guys my opinions of my favorite high end and my favorite lower ends. This time we have one higher end with the 80s rocker Rimuru Kuji figure, aka the Demon or Devil Rimuru. And of course, we're going to give it to him. As far as the lower end stuff, the lower tier prize figure, I really do love this Kirito, but I gotta go and give it to my girl Rem just for the extra little something on the base alone. It's the one thing that ekes her out over Kirito. And if not, I would totally give it to Kirito because this thing is absolutely incredible. But the extra little bonus you get with the Rem makes her stand out as a better piece than the Kirito. And that's just, maybe it's my bias for Rem, I don't know. But I think all in all, this winter made Rem is absolutely gorgeous. And out of everything here, besides Rimuru, she is the thing I recommend the most to people. So those are my picks for the week. Let me know who your favorites were down in the comments below. And now for page updates. Well, there wasn't really much that went on this past week because, again, it was the holidays, food and food comas and shopping and more shopping and family and friends and all that good stuff. So hopefully you all that celebrate actually went and had yourselves some good times as well. Took a little bit of a break. The only thing I really did this past week was live stream. We finished and beat Resident Evil 4 Remake and did some more Borderlands 4, which, depressingly enough, my content that I unlocked from the new event was erased. So be careful if you are playing the new Borderlands update because, all my progress and unlocks were gone. So hopefully they patch it and we can go back to playing some more. I'll probably do some of that this week. But I'm looking for new game suggestions to stream. So if you guys have any, let me know. I will probably be doing some ZZZ story stuff this week because we had new story content drop and I haven't played it yet. And I'm going to try to obviously get things back on track now that the holidays are all over. But if you're noticing, this video did drop late because we just had a nor'easter up here in New England. And internet and power was a little spotty, so I kind of am behind a few days. So playing catch up, and we will get there. I am going to be posting my All Might, Armored All Might, that is, on Saturday for the My Hero Academia new episode drop. Stay tuned for that. And I also have a massive What's in the Box I have to do from Big Bad Toy Store, which is 2 giant boxes that are bigger than my table. Probably about 30 items, so it's going to be a big one. We'll see what's in those. And I'm going to try to have another episode of Prize Figure Face Off uploaded this week on Friday. So stay tuned for all that. And that's going to be it for the page updates. So thank you guys so much for watching this one today. If you did like the video, do me a solid. Click the like button, the subscribe button, the share button. Spread that nerdiness. Follow on all the socials. The links are down in the description below. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.